Just between us, the existence of this Quatchik vault gives me pause. How many other plans does Doriani have in motion? Keep your eyes open. Go.
Before us stands Mount Crier, the most isolated peak in the Azmiri Ranges. At its summit, you will find the Quatchik Vault. There is no predicting the state of those within. If their discipline and loyalty endure after all these generations, they will know us by a certain phrase. Tell them, the time of the sparrow has come.
What happens if I forget?
Don't forget. But, if they will not listen, I will come to assist you. Remember, subdue them, but do not kill them. They will fight for us one way or another.
Time is of the essence.
Good day to you. I'm Hilda. Been roaming the world for some time now, hunting all manner of beasts. And as soon as I get my arse back to Mount Crier, it's all turned to shite. My tribe has fled the region. Someone was roughing them up. I got one guess who. Lythara, a skilled hunter from a neighboring tribe, has lost her mind. She and her followers drove my people out. Then she turned on her own. I'd sort her out myself, but she packs quite a punch. If you're heading up the mountain, you'll have to deal with her. But there's something else I'd ask of you. There's one beast I've not been able to best. A Yeti, deep within the caves of Mount Crier. A truly fearsome bastard. Many claim to have seen him, just not up close. One thing's certain, though. You'll hear him. Oh, an unmistakable howl against the icy winds. Seek him out, slay him, and bring me his tusks. I'll make it worth your while. How goes your quest?
Welcome to Mount Crier. Not the friendliest peak in the ranges. Keep your footing, keep your wits. You might just leave with both intact. If not, well, these slopes are littered with folk who made the same mistake. The land provides. Horrid insect! This on for size! Easy.
Notch on the end.
Darkness awaits.
Another notch on my helmet.
dear mountain-born of Cryer. Another solstice is upon us. We shall be joined at the week's end by the fine hunters of Drelin for a feast most spectacular. Ready the meat and the mead. Bring your most splendid of songs. We shall dance and sing merry into the longest night. Spirit guide you always, Elder Crovin Maddox.
Simple enough.
The solstice draws near, but the owls bring me worrisome tidings. They speak of erratic behavior, of whispers in the night. The spear of Drelin has been attacking animals for cruel sport, rather than as a necessary hunt. Her tribe push and rough each other, raging at random, only to grow eerily calm moments later. It is perhaps not concerning enough to cancel our coming celebrations, but we should be wary and have our hunters remain vigilant. I doubt Lythara and her tribe would dare behave like that in our presence.
My kin died by the spirit's will. You'll die by mine.
Are all Asmiri insane, or is it just you?
You defy the very spirit itself. Spirit, guide my spear. My kin died by the spirit's will. You'll die by mine. Spirit, guide my spear. You defy the very spirit itself. Was
I think I did you a favour, truth be told. Getting swarmed under! One down. Who's next? Grounded. Permanently.
No more.
That's what you get, you overgrown chicken. Oh, I'm freezing my arse off up here. Try this on for size! Bloody beautiful! watch on me helmet. Freak! Lather up! Wakey, wakey! Bigger target. Should have been a big game, hunter.
What have you learned? Thank you.
Well, look at you then. Quite the hunter. Oh, these'll fit in nicely with my trophy collection. I thank you. Perhaps we can work together again sometime. Go well.
What is it? Of course. Speak.
has heard your name. I am Elder Maddox. Your silencing of the wayward spear has calmed the spirit. Here, I observe the biting chill of the gale, while I mourn our losses. The winter owl blesses you, and the spirit concedes. I have little time left in this world, and I am on my last adventure. From here, I shall observe winter across 3 weeks of night. Then I shall join the wisdom of owls who came before me. Before you depart, I bear a gift. Stay warm.
Open up! Bag of bones! Whew, almost lost a toad of frostbite back there. on me own. Dark machine! Lather up!
Reloading. etched into the mountain Kraya for the glory of the Varn. 200 gave their lives in service to the Queen. Many more would have died if not for Jaquani's constructs. All this for the glory of Aziri, Uromoto, architect of expansion.
Between a man and his next payday. Val sure do love their tombs.
Did this thing just whisper? No, it couldn't have.
Reloading.
We have one task, and one task alone. To survive with our dignity intact. It is the dignity of the Val, of all those who came before. We were born in this vault, and we will die in this vault. We are not allowed the freedoms we read of, the freedoms we dream of. We cannot couple for love, or have children as we choose. We cannot choose our laws. We cannot wander an open world as we see fit. We must accept that our now is not at long last, and we must bring stillness to the dream. As your new High Priest, alongside my sister, I will endeavor to bring calm to your minds. To bring numbness to the pains in our hearts. That is the greatest calling our now has to offer.
One day soon, the vow will spread from this place like wildfire. The decline in detected corruption that began 20 years ago continues at pace. Soon, we will reach the threshold left for us by our great forebears. Ready yourselves! Solin and I have long served you, crafting the blood euphorics and eradicating pain. No longer. We must be sharp-eyed and sharp-minded. After countless years, our now is about to become at long last. We will be remembered as the heroes that went forth and repopulated. You may now couple and bear children as you wish. The carnal pleasures are ours once more. The limits lifted. The new Val Empire begins here. Now, with us.
Gather up! On for size! The time of the sparrow has come.
What nonsense do you speak?
No matter. Now you
Try
die!
this on for size!
Stand the test of time! Stay strong, Selena! No! You submit!
Give it up. We're temporary allies, like it or not.
Fools! Did you not hear the code phrase?
Is it really you?
Ayasiri? Doriani himself? I am not worthy!
You seem sane enough. The spirit of the Var endures. Assemble yourselves. The time has come. You will march forth unto war.
As you wish, Master Thaumaturge.
Let us meet back in Kingsmarch. The Quachik shall join our cause.
The Quachik may have joined our cause, but that will last only as long as we share a common enemy. Be wary. If we do manage to stop the Twilight Order and slay the beast, we may suddenly have more to worry about. Time is short. Make haste.
Yes.
Go on.
Of course.
This will be a war for the very soul of Wraeclast. I can imagine no greater battle, no greater cause. If we are to die, we will die well. You have your orders.
So this is Kingsmarch. Oh, quite the marvel. And Danik's Forge. Oh, what I wouldn't give for some of that gear. We're ready and waiting. Right behind you. If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
It's your lucky day.
It has been thousands of years since I've seen an alliance such as this. Wraeclast has finally united the way I always hoped it would. Come, let us plan our assault on Oriath.
I've been working on a strategy of sorts.
I'm glad you're with us, boss.
Do whatever it takes. Time is short. Make haste. What have you learned? The time has come. We can only hope our alliance will be enough. That fateful hour, a return to Oriath. We can set sail immediately.
Lock and load.
With our forces united, we set sail from King's March and head for Oriath. But as we approached, the unthinkable took place. We were too late. My worst fears have come to pass. The world is consumed by madness once more. Our last hope for refuge is the ziggurat of Exile. Perhaps Doriana's preparations will shield us while we plan our next move. It appears Doriana truly does have a plan for every contingency.
I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Least of all back here.
Yeah, pretty dire situation all round, really.
I've been quite busy studying that blood magic tome I found. If I'm honest, I'm quite amazed how much it seems to have sunk in already. In any case, welcome back.
We're back on the trail of the Triskelion Flame. Our grand quest has resumed once more. I'm a little fearful, but also excited. I have a good feeling about this.
You got a taste for it again?
Oh, the mind is willing. Let's see how the body goes. I am bound by honour to discover the fate of Uhtred and the Order of the Chalice on Wraeclast. I'll trade you for any relics that you find with their marks and runes.
Will do. Out of curiosity, who were they?
They were the primary priesthood and religious order that went in with the initial ships to Wraeclast.
Ah, so a cult. Got it. What were they like?
Not quite the type you have out here. They interpreted the stars and the workings of mysterious forces, such as alchemy and runes. I've always wanted to join the order. I quite like the idea of spending my days in a laboratory doing research. Thousands of years ago, the last news coming back home painted Uhtred in quite the negative light. Some called him a traitor, but the details were sparse and confusing. I'm here to clear his name or condemn him. The truth shall stand above all.
Don't drink the water.
Logistics has always been the true key to warfare.
Hello again. I mean, that is to say, my husband's told me all about you. You're the local that caused such a ruckus. I'm Gwenin, his luckier half, and his more exhausted half. Let's put you to work then, shall we? When you've been on a quest as long as I have, you tend to wind down a bit. Sometimes I get the whole gang back together for a run or two. But mostly, it's just me. Over and over. Yet another cataclysm on Wraeclast. What happened this time? You didn't reach Oriath soon enough? When exactly did it happen? The ship had just gotten to the harbor. All right. Tell me everything. I'll memorize every detail for posterity. And I'll have Alva write it down. Her pluckiness really gets on a person's nerves over the years. Or so I assume that it would, eventually. He and the children are why I do what I do. And I'll never give up, even if it all seems hopeless. The relics of our ancestors are where they're supposed to be now, at least. Which is to say, scattered all over? Ugh, this job is pure chaos. Chaos? Why would you ask me about them? Here we go again.
I've needed more than luck to make it this long.
We meet again. Your exploits inspired us to come out of retirement, so to speak. The Grand Four are once again searching for the Triskelion flame. Wraeclast could sorely use its power in this time of darkness and despair.
Good on ya.
Survive.
Oh?
Who'd have thought we're finally back at it? Guess we got you to thank. Or to blame.
Some things never change.
The others have got their particular interests. I'm mainly here in search of an ancient rowdy gang called the Black Sides. Got to scratch up their relics and try to piece together what happened to them. They were a group of mercenaries that accompanied the first expedition. Their founder, a particularly heroic warrior by the name of Varana, shared ties to my bloodline.
Oh, a fellow mercenary, eh?
Used to think it might change something if I found out what happened to her. Now I just want to finish this quest and be done with it. Been half my bloody life at this point. She was a fearsome and irrepressible warrior. Even defied his lordship, the Third. And somehow won his respect for it. I like those who make their own way.
Don't we all?
Her fate here on Wraeclast was unknown. But I have a feeling she's still kicking about. A burning spirit like that never goes down without a legendary fight. Bye then.
A man with an interest in mercenaries. I like him.
You're finally awake. That's a small consolation. We have lost so much. The Hooded One used the weapon to keep us alive during the Cataclysm. We were too close. It absorbed too much energy and was shattered. I retain only a piece of it. The situation is grim. The Hooded One has become comatose. Wraeclast has been devastated and is no longer habitable. Grieving would only be a waste of precious time. We must face reality and make difficult choices. We are living the worst possible outcome, but I did anticipate every contingency. Before us is a translocation device, which should allow us to open portals to a wide range of coordinates across Wraeclast. With this, we can reclaim the world from the grasp of corruption so that civilization can one day return to its former heights. There was some damage, but while you were unconscious, we worked to repair the machine. I believe it will function as desired, but it must be tested. That is where you come in. By placing waystones in the machine, they will help calibrate the journey. The corruption at the destination will respond to both the energies we use and that we ourselves expect to find. Let us use this malleability to our advantage. Let us see if the machine is still capable. Time is of the essence.
Another notch on me helmet. Try this on for size! More of this ritual stuff can't mean anything good. Ended the same as it did in Frankfurt. Let's emphasize! Another notch on me helmet. Bloody horrors! Back to the grave! Long time since I've seen one of these. No mana! Cousin's third wife was a breachy. Let's not reunite.
Speak. Indeed.
Yes?
Indeed.
I am Solin. I will assist you in any way I can, for Doriani has ordered me to do so. Conversation beyond that is not required.
Hello, Outlander. I spent my life studying you in our archives. I can't believe I get to meet one of you in the flesh. This will be an interesting time. The nameless creep ever closer.
Zesht is a strange being indeed. It was my understanding that there were 5 Breach Lords. Zesht was not one of the names I learned. I do know that the Cult of Purple Flame believed, strangely enough, that the Breach Lords would one day unite into a single being named Zeshtula. But that is not what you faced. Not exactly. I wonder if they attempt to merge as prophesized. But something went wrong. The missing factor seems to be Chayula. Among the mysterious Breach Lords, Chayula alone had followers here on Wraeclast, and historically was successfully communicated with by the Maraketh on at least one occasion. That means, fundamentally, Chayula shares some aspect of thought with us. He is not a mindless ravager. We have no idea what his agenda truly is, of course. But if he is not part of Zesht, it may be in our interest to find him. Find more Breach remnants for my research.
Not bad. We did not have access to the trial in the Quachik Vault. We entreated the favor of Chaos several times over the centuries, but they were not interested. There were very few possibilities in the vault. All of us were dedicated and disciplined to our cause, so there was no infighting. No dramatic turns. Boring to watch, I imagine. I am intrigued by Alva's existence. We were sent to the vault to act as a failsafe for the Baal, should they be wiped out. Her bloodline proves that at least some of us survived on the outside. Perhaps, despite all of Master Doriani's efforts, the best plan was simply to have faith and let the spirit of our people win through. The first generation sealed in the Quachik Vault passed down stories about you. I never thought you were real. But here you are, with Master Doriani no less. Truly, this is a time of wonders. We thought you were a curse and to plague us, but you may be our salvation instead. In the vault, we had our duties, and little else. I spent my free time reading tomes in the archives. They contained highly detailed information about Wraeclast's plant life, animal life, and surface cultures. I thought I knew everything, but knowing is nothing next to seeing. As I understand it, the Val were a shining beacon of power that kept the world safe. They were surrounded by savage cultures that burned, pillaged, and ravaged Wraeclast. Without us, modern life must have been quite terrifying. By wiping that all away, the cataclysm may have been a blessing in disguise. The Maraketh were not so bad, according to our tomes. They were militaristic and headstrong. Criminals were tattooed and cast out for a time. The intention was good, but the implementation was wasteful. I should have been using all that blood and those organs for more useful ends. In Quachik, We used everything we possibly could. Nothing discarded. A few tomes describe the Karwi as rabid, diseased animals. Ate each other and fought for dominance. I don't know if I believe that, though. One account was very different. It was a diary. A noble woman fell in love with a Karwi man from the Rongokurai tribe. She described them as a culture of poetic warriors with intensely strong communal bonds. A biased source, clearly, but a strong note of dissension among the texts. I've never read anything about these Etzomites, as you call them. The system of runes you describe is also unfamiliar to me. To be quite honest, the concept of runes sounds like a jest, and I am not your fool to toy with. Thrartus is now home to a culture of exiles from the Eternal Empire. I've never heard of this Eternal Empire. They sound like upstarts who took advantage of our absence. In our era, Thrartus was inhabited by scattered tribes that originally came from the south. They found the slightly warmer climate to their liking. That and the geological vapors. They were described as quite intoxicating. The Asmeri hold the oldest wisdom. They were already in their mountains when the first Val was born from Shivaqua's remains. They will likely still be up there, even now, after this cataclysm. Troubled, but alive. Oriath. A derivative of the original name for the island the Golden Gulf called home. They split off from the Asmeri during a difficult time in history. There was a time of famine, fire, and despair. And the gods rose from the ashes. Or so they say. The only god I've ever seen, supposedly, is lying over there doing nothing to aid us. The histories are confusing. When it comes to the culture, I believe you're asking about Otsasa, Owl, Putembo. These names are treated more like myths than historical facts. Over the years, I've spent a few of our excess newborns trying to scry for dreams about them. So far, I've seen nothing useful. For now, we part.